You have a loan on the
Hold on.
membership?
If you wait and listen.
I'm reacting, girl. People can react.
You're making assumptions, not just reacting.
For the membership you could cancel, I would be okay with
Can you
this.
listen?
I'm just saying my opinion.
Okay.
You know, the guy who runs the show.
I just don't like people talking over me, trying to answer.
You're so combative. Are you a coward? Where are you going? You can't handle this?
Hi, my name is Rachel. I am 29 years old from Sacramento, California, and this is Financial Audit.
Wow, thanks for coming to Austin. What do you do for a living in Sacramento?
I mostly do I would call it freelance. So I am a pet sitter.
Okay.
I do house sitting, and I also work as an administrative assistant. So
I know some people who do pet sitting. Like one of my original guests on the show who I met doing a second show we did on the street. Dude makes like $250,000 a year pet sitting. So
Damn.
this could be good. What do you do? How much are we making?
when I was doing it full time, like working myself to the bone, this was a couple years ago.
Well, what are you making now? That's what I care about.
Okay. Now, this is my first month back into it. I have
Okay.
I have a proposed $600 income this month, but I know.
Okay. I just reached for my stress ball here in that. Okay. There has to be more than that though. Because we don't allow people to come on unless they don't have income anymore. So there has to be more. What?
That is some income.
Okay, but it's not real because we can't
not
do
real.
anything with it. So
I
what?
know.
What?
I make another probably $250 a month from the admin work.
I am being specifically told that you have income.
I
What is the money that comes in? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude off the bat. This is like we have been very particular about making sure that people come on that have income.
well, yeah. I mean, I shared all of that when I sent in my documents that I kind of like.
Yeah, we had payroll deposits.
Yeah, because I
On your
had
documents.
I just recently separated from a company.
Okay, well that's different. That is a different situation. Okay, well I will allow. Why? What was the separation? I will allow that.
It was a difficult situation between management and I. So I did get a severance, and
So you got laid off.
c-
What? Your phone's sorry.
I turned the
What is it
vibrator
doing?
off.
No, it's flashing at me.
I know that's what the notification thing. I don't know how to turn that off anymore. Probably accessibility.
Flip it
setting.
upside down.
Well, then the
so I don't have a seizure.
Here, let me
Just put it in your pocket. I'm sorry. Like, oh, okay.
Yes.
Wow. I was just trying to look at you, and I don't think it showed up on camera, but it was just like flashing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's hidden.
Yeah, we had payroll deposit of $2,836, so that's what we
That's
went
the
off of.
severance.
That's what we cared about.
Yes.
That was severance. What was this job?
I was a remote registered vet tech, so I do carry that license.
Oh, great. And we can get into vet. Vet's usually understaffed in general, right? Across the board,
Yes.
especially on the emergency part.
Yes.
Okay, great. So, well, you got laid off. Why'd you get laid off? You
It
scared all the dogs with your laugh?
no. So, it was, like I said, it was from home. So there were no animals involved. But as far as why I separated, there was a whole thing about ADA accommodations, and my boss just started lying about me and stuff like that.
What are the
So,
accommodations that you need?
I have both physical and mental ADA accommodations. So
Yeah, what?
I have a physical disability that affects my collagen, so none of my joints work.
I don't think vet tech would be a good job
I know.
for you.
I know. It's not anymore.
Very on the feet and bending over.
I
And
know. I haven't been in
Okay.
hospital since 2019 because of this.
that makes more sense. Maybe we start
Yes.
looking for different career fields at that point.
I know,
Okay.
which is why I'm
Because 2019 between now and here, like, trust me, I get it. And it sounds like something that maybe developed over time. And I have sympathy of that. If it was starting today and, we would start planning for the future, that was 5 years. You had 5 years to think about your future. 5 years isn't significant in the span of a lifetime.
Yeah.
So isn't insignificant.
I did think about going back to school, and then I got this job back in December of 2023. The
Remote vet tech.
full-time remote vet tech job.
How do you be a remote vet?
Customer care. So when people call about pet
And what were
things.
you making in this job? Because maybe this is another job that we can get somewhere else.
Hourly? I was
Sure.
making 23,
And how many hours a week did you work?
40.
It's a little hard in California. It's expensive. American money is kind of, yeah, right?
Yeah, it's stupid.
They don't build housing. It's a really ineffective place to live for being able to afford to live.
And I did own a house. I did.
Past did. You're 29. Mm-hmm. That's incredible. For a lot of people, that's incredible to own a house before.
I had money. I was real good with money. And then...
Okay, so then I will ask then. I will just ask. What is going on here?
So I was with a guy. We were together for 6 years, but we were only married for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And
it's kind of a hookup of a marriage, okay?
Blew up everything. Everything.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
But you were together for 6 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah.
Why did we divorce after 2 weeks?
So
did you keep laughing in the middle of the night?
No.
Okay.
I enjoyed my laugh.
No,
Thank you very
I'm
much.
poking at you.
So right before we got married, I came out as bi, and then we decided to continue with the wedding. I really wanted a girlfriend, and he was...
Oh.
I know. He was iffy about that, and then I decided that women probably weren't enough because our life was really horrible.
Why were you getting married then? You knew you wanted to have a girlfriend. He wasn't a girlfriend. And the life wasn't there, which a lot of people find to be very important. Me included, like it's normal.
Yeah.
So why did we go through with the marriage if it ended in 2 weeks?
Because I knew I always wanted to be with him, like for the rest of my life. I just didn't know. Obviously not well. I just didn't know that I always only wanted to be with him. Because, like, I think I'm kind of poly.
Propose?
I didn't propose.
No, that's not what I was going to ask.
Oh. Sorry.
Poly. Is
Polyamorous.
that into everything?
No, polyamorous is having, like, multiple partners.
Yes, okay. I'm less good at terms. Okay.
It's not it's relationship, but.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that I was actually just going to ask, were you proposing having an open marriage?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And I offered him the same thing, and he was like, I don't even want that.
Were you not willing to then not do that?
I was at a point in my life where
you just got married.
Yeah.
A lifetime commitment. Okay.
I know
sure.
I f***ed up. I know I f***ed up.
Sure.
But I was at a point in my life where I was really scared. COVID had just happened. I was discovering all this stuff about my own. What year was this? 2020.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't even know if we're fully divorced yet, to be honest. And
what do you mean?
Like,
it wasn't
legally.
settled? Really?
Yeah. Because he called me the other day.
Are you messy?
Yeah.
Is it messy?
It's not angry messy.
Okay.
It's
then why not get this figured out and settled? Are you with anyone else?
I was. Right now I'm single.
Okay. Then I feel like we would just want this settled out. At least for the comfort of someone else once you're with them.
Yeah, it's still hard emotionally.
What
I know.
Why? But okay, I see. Okay, you're into polygamy. That doesn't mean you can't be monogamous, though.
Right. And I have discovered since I
why'd you give up 2 weeks?
I didn't give up.
He gave up.
He
called it. So you said, I want polygamy. And he was like, no, monogamy. Oh, wait, no monogamy.
Yeah. So he halfway agreed to it. And then he took it back and threw his ring on the table.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
Which is hard. That almost sounds like kind of an emotional moment. Surprised there wasn't like a regrouping after like thinking about it.
I tried for a long time.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry.
I know, me too.
That's really hhard.
Me too.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he contacted me the other day looking for a place to serve me. And I said, I don't have an address.
What we got there?
Oh, it's
Washington Monument? No.
No, it's just a stimulation chewy. So that, because ADHD, tism,
I apparently have tism because I have this little thing and I'm just always
yeah.
But that's because I like to play with things.
It's for my nervous system, which is real nervous.
Okay.
Not right now for any reason.
Okay.
Just in general.
So the life blew up.
Yes.
What did life blow up? Because, you know, we said what happened. You said that happened. So what is happening?
Right now or then?
Just what are we looking at?
Right now or then?
How did we get here and where are we?
How'd we get here? See, that's the then question. So how'd we get here? 2019 injury. Late 2019 injury, right? Remember how I got disabled?
Okay. Oh, you said college an issue.
Yeah, which because
it came from an injury or an injury happened? You didn't tell me about an injury.
Right. So I had an injury November 2019.
Okay.
And that never healed when it should have healed in like 3 weeks. And so from November to January, I was doing physical therapy, taking meds, acupuncture.
Okay, I apologize. Where are we at today?
Okay. So today I have applied for disability several times since 2019. I have been declined.
Okay.
Because I'm not disabled enough.
What kind of makes sense? I mean, you can do a lot, just not
a
lot of physical labor.
Exactly.
And there's not, I mean, most desk jobs are not physical labor jobs.
Right.
And in California, it's a lot of information systems type job. It's less of going into the coal mines kind of state.
Yeah, definitely. It's really hard because it's hard to not be able to do what you love.
What do you love? The vet?
Vet med.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I mean, you did this job and then you got laid off because you weren't doing it well, I guess, or something.
No,
maybe.
I was doing it well.
Well, you got laid off for a reason.
Yeah, because my boss did. I stood up to my boss and she did not like that.
Well, hold on. Was it like true subordinates? Like,
no, it was. She was saying I was doing
disobedience. That's not the word.
Disobedience.
No, that's not the word. Subordinates. No.
Subordinates.
Insubordinate.
There we go. We got there.
Okay, yeah, because it could have been that. Like, if you blow up in an inappropriate way, that is cause for fire.
No, so it was all like we would have these verbal meetings. She would say, you know, we would come to an agreement, and then when she would write up the written for HR, it was different.
Okay, and maybe you. I always play devil's advocate.
Of course,
maybe you like interpreted the conversation different.
Her and her boss are BFFs. Like, they went to college together. So
cool. How does that mean they want to f you, though? Why would they want to f you?
She was intimidated by me because
come on. Usually when people say that, the other person's not, to be very clear.
Because
like, anytime I've ever heard someone say, that person's intimidated by me, they're not.
I wasn't the only one that said that.
They barely even pay attention to that person existing.
She paid attention enough to make up lies.
Okay, what were the lies?
Reason.
What were the lies?
The lies were that I was doing something incorrectly. What? I shouldn't get into specifics of that, job, but that I was.
It just flashed at me again through the paper. That thing is trying to give me a seizure. I've never seen this in my life. Thank you.
You're welcome. Easily distracted, obviously.
Always.
So, the company didn't even have SOPs. So
okay, was it small? Was it getting started up? Because sometimes it takes a while for companies to grow.
So it was. It's been a company for a long time, but it got bought by another company. So it should have had SOPs from when it was its own company.
Okay, so we got laid off.
Yeah. Long story short, you asked why, so I was telling you.
Sure. I know. I'm getting us forward, moving us forward. Got laid off. How long have you been laid off now?
October 25th. And today is November 7th.
So that's okay. This is different than the people who just don't have a job. You recently got laid off, and now we're in the we need to get a job phase.
And I have
that is different.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I have applied to a million places.
Yeah, it's only been a couple weeks. It's okay. It takes a while.
Before, because I was thinking about just quitting.
Okay, we can go. Maybe we'll go through your resume later.
Okay, I would like that.
We have your resume.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
We'll go through it later. We'll take a look at things.
Okay.
And we'll take a look at your job experience. And, everything. Okay. But your finances. Listen up, business owners, especially those with messy bookkeeping. Early on, I tried tracking every expense myself. Big mistake. And as a business owner, time is your most valuable asset, and I was wasting hours of mine sorting through receipts. My advice? Get organized as early as possible. And with the sponsor of today's video, Relay, it's easy. Relay is a business banking platform designed to save you time and stress. My favorite part, you can open up to 20 free checking accounts. Organize your money into separate accounts for taxes, payroll, upcoming projects, or whatever you need from the start. It's total control over your cash flow all in one place. Plus, if you've got a team like me, you can issue up to 50 debit cards with spending limits. Keep tabs on expenses without worrying about your money disappearing on business lunches. Trust me, when tax season rolls around, you'll be glad you made the switch. Accountants love this platform. Relay offers secure, read-only access for your accountant so they can keep your books clean without you having to chase down every last receipt. And for my audience, Relay is offering a $100 bonus when you sign up through relayfi.com/CalebHammer or the link in the description below. Future you will thank yourself for making the switch. So check out Relay today, claim your $100 sign-up bonus, and let's jump back into today's episode. Where are we at today? You're not making money. This is what I've kind of been trying to get to. Yeah. But just temporarily, you haven't been making money, so that's okay. A lot of what we're looking at here isn't a temporary situation. This has been a situation that likely takes years to get into. So why? Because what has been happening?
Like I said, prior to the separation, I had money.
Prior to separation was like 5 years ago.
Yes. So and then over
are you saying this was a 5-year operation?
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Okay. Go. Patience is a virtue, Caleb.
And I don't have any.
So I made a lot of pretty intense, impulsive decisions during that time. So since I owned the house, I was under this fairy tale that I was going to live there forever. And so I put lots of money into the house, which I should not have done.
Well, depending. There's stupid money to put into a house, and then there's smart money to put into a house.
It was probably stupid
What did you do and how much?
I poured $17,000 worth of concrete.
Concrete? What did you do? What were you doing?
So it was a 1/4 acre. The house was on a 1/4 acre.
Okay.
And I concreted around the perimeter, and then a huge, like all the way to the back of the property, a flat, like for trailers or sheds or whatever.
Why?
Because I wanted to live there and I needed sheds, and I know.
What prevented you from moving then? Why didn't you live there forever? I'm okay. You do whatever you want to your house if you are going to live there, but.
And I also put solar on it, and then that's
expensive.
I know, it was so stupid because I ended up having to pay it out when I sold it.
Why'd you sell it?
Because I didn't want to get foreclosed on.
Why would you have gotten foreclosed on? How much was this? What was the loan on this thing?
We bought it for $300.
Okay.
And then I didn't refinance. I did like one of those where you take your missed payments and put them at the end of the month. I know.
Why were you missing payments? What were your payments? What were your payments for $300,000 with the low interest rates of COVID? What were the payments?
$2,000.
Why couldn't we find $2,000? I'm not saying it's an insignificant amount of money, but why couldn't we find $2,000?
Because
was this post separation?
Yes.
Okay, well that's a difference, and we know that you break when you go outside. So
I do break when I go outside.
Yes. You didn't have a job at that point. Okay.
Yes, correct. And then that's when I started, because I was on state disability for a year after my injury, but they don't tell. What
was your injury?
I had a right wrist injury. It was just simple tendonitis, but because it didn't heal, that's how they found out I have the collagen disorder. So it's still up. I can only lift 3 pounds with my right wrist.
Yeah, but that didn't mean lifting isn't the only kind of job that exists out there.
I know.
I mean, the most I lift in this office is like my cup of coffee.
But when you have a specialty license, they like give you that
yeah. They
you were
give
supposed to be able to do this.
Of course they give it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that's where you have to go.
I know.
I mean, you're missing your so obviously this wasn't.
Not for the first long while, because I had a big savings.
I'm going to get into your finances. I'm sorry. This is just, this has been going for a moment, and I just need to know.
Yeah.
But for self-assess first. It's always important. I want to see where you think it is.
100%.
You think you're a 0 out of 10?
Which I think that your
finance
scale
score
is a little skewed, just to be honest. Because as you state it verbally, you're like 0 being the absolute worst.
Yeah.
And I don't think that everybody is at a 0. Like the absolute worst.
Well, not everybody's at a 0.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
I don't think that the average person, and I know average is a whole thing, but I don't think that somebody in my situation where I have a roof over my head is the worst possible.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly over exaggeration, right?
Yeah.
But if like your debt is kind of like, yeah, it really doesn't get worse than this because like, sure, you could add some numbers, but at that point it's just like this is like that's still a zero, like for the debt score, and then it all compounds throughout there. Like, no real estate's zero, obviously.
Yeah.
So it still becomes a zero. Sure, yeah, you could be homeless under a bridge. It's a little different, but
I'm just homeless in a cardboard box.
If you want your Hammer financial score, go to CalebHammer.com or click the link in the description below. You can also go to CalebHammer.com/apply. We'd happy to have you on the show. Our application's actually gotten a lot easier. We just updated it to make it more streamlined. So make sure you check it out. We'd love to have you on the show. Okay. So, all right. I see a Subaru. You look like a Subaru kind of gal. You have that California Subaru girly energy.
Thanks, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to go camp in a forest somewhere.
That is actually where I live.
In the forest?
Mm-hmm. My house is a 17-foot teardrop trailer.
So when you said roof over your head, you meant a vehicle.
I meant something with a bed and a kitchen and a shower.
A shower?
Yeah, the toilet's inside the shower.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
So I got all my
no. It's better than not having a roof.
Thank you.
It's a technical roof, but that's not usually what people think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It counts as homelessness in the state of California?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a vehicle.
Uh-huh.
But okay. Okay, well, that puts things a little more into perspective than before. So is that the Subaru? That's not the Subaru.
I tow it with the Subaru.
Do you have like designated spots or are you just everywhere?
So I have
I mean, it's going to be harder for you to have a job without a permanent address.
You betcha it is.
Okay.
Why do you think I can't go into an office?
Because you don't have a permanent address.
Uh-huh.
Why don't we work on... You were making money until a couple of days ago. It's like if you were in this situation forever, I'd be a little more... I'd be a little more... Okay, it makes sense. We can't afford a place over our head when we don't have a job. No, we literally had a job until right now. So why weren't we trying to get a roof over our head?
I have a roof over my head.
Come on, you know what I'm talking about. The permanent address.
I don't want one.
Okay, congratulations. Then you're probably going to have a harder time getting a job, and then you're probably going to live in poverty, and then you. Like, that's the end of the conversation then. It's like we just determined. Just determined.
Plenty of remote jobs.
Cool. How's that going?
Not well.
So we literally just determined that you would have a better chance of getting a job if you had a permanent address.
Mm-hmm. And you know how much more money that would cost me per month?
Yes, but you had the stable income.
Yeah,
and
I had the stable income living in my trailer.
Stop. And that, even if a little more expensive, trust me, I get it. It would have been more expensive on a monthly basis. I really do understand that. But it would have prevented the situation you're in right now extending longer than it needs to, because you would have been able to at least get... Listen, I'm sorry. It makes sense. If I'm hiring someone as the boss of this place, it makes more sense making sure that someone lives in a certain radius here, because it is more guaranteed that they are going to be here. Because you invest a lot of money into an employee when you're first getting them set up, especially and then it's time and it's energy, and then replacing someone is even more time and energy. You want the best chance that they're going to succeed. Hiring you would be on the lower chance of going to succeed of an in-person role.
But that's the thing, is in-person role is just not...
You don't have to lift everything in person.
No.
You could be in an office. What are you talking about?
It's not about that.
Then what is it about?
It's about my mental health.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay.
I know. That's a value of mine.
What? It's a value?
Yes, a value of mine is to not put myself in a situation that's going to make me much worse for my mental health, especially considering I have ADA accommodations.
You haven't told me what they are.
Because you didn't ask.
Yes, I did.
I said mental and physical, and you didn't ask for elaboration. So
elaborate.
Thank you. My ADA mental accommodation is up to 32 hours a month of time off that is paid typically, and it's typically a half day every other week. And then...
Is that forced federally?
I don't know what that means.
I don't do the HR. So my other guy, like if there are anything like that, he's making sure we're following guidelines and stuff like that. Is that forced federally that someone is not allowed to look at that when determining hiring? Because I know there are disability protections, of course. Is that specifically? Because it's not, why the would I pick you over someone who I know will come into work without the hassle of me having to reorchestrate everyone else's office in a small business around your life?
I don't think that they are allowed to know. Plus,
allowed to know. Well, that's different. I mean, more discriminate against it if that's a thing. I know there are certain things you can't discriminate against. I don't know if it's that one.
I don't either. So that's
why wouldn't you know? Shouldn't you be the one that does know? You and HR?
Well, HR.
You were just complaining about it at the beginning that the other company wasn't following it, but now you don't even know if it's a legal requirement.
What do you mean wasn't following it?
You said the other company wasn't.
I said there was an issue with it.
Did she not say that? I heard her.
Plus, throughout this situation, my therapist has come to the recommendation that I not have like a direct boss.
Girl, you're not going to survive.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I really don't understand the purpose then. This doesn't make sense. You're not going to survive in this world. Everyone has a boss.
Do you?
Yes, the audience. I have a boss. The platform that I'm on, I have to follow the rules and regulations, or else no money.
Kind of like when I was pet sitting and making $2,000 a month, and I was my own boss.
Kind of. I mean, they're still your boss. The people hiring you and paying you. Yeah, they hire you, and they don't have to hire you again. What the f*** are you talking about?
Because
there's a direct level of management that might be different, but they're still your boss. What the f*** are you talking about?
Your boss versus your income is different. So your boss is who sets your schedule.
They hire you.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
No, listen, if people aren't willing to hire you based on the schedule you say on Rover, then they are still setting your schedule because they don't want to hire you based on your schedule.
That's not setting my schedule. Setting my schedule is what days I'm available to do the things.
You can say going into a job interview, these are the days that I'm not able to do things, and they will still judge your hiring based on that, just like someone on Rover is judging your booking based on that.
That doesn't make them my boss, does it?
Okay, you're just viewing it in a slightly different way. Whatever, that's okay. And I think you want to view it on a very like corporate overlord versus like you are accountable to someone.
I am accountable to myself and my clients that I make.
You're accountable to Subaru because you owe them money and you signed a contract.
Yeah, that was.
And you're like, I don't want to have a boss. Well, you said your therapist said you shouldn't have a boss, and I'm a little concerned by that. Big advocate for mental health, but she kind of f***ed you with that one. Cause
I think she cares more about me being alive.
Yeah, you need money to survive.
I also need to not.
But also
KMS.
No, I get that, but there's always different levels is the thing, right? Like I want to come at this from sympathy, but I'm also always coming at it from logic as well and devil's advocate. The thing is there's so many different levels of bosses. You can have a non-micromanaging boss that, he's still or she or whatever that person.
Like
that person just sets like, here's the goals we're trying to hit. Can you help us get there with your experience? Over the McDonald's manager that's like looking behind you as you're dropping fries in the oil, There's different levels. Your therapist is saying, I don't think you should have a boss. Feels kind of like a disservice to me because there's so much in between different levels of what a boss looks like. Even you have figured that out without figuring that out when we talked about the Rover thing.
Okay. So where I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. Can you repeat the last sentence you said? Please.
What's your plan for survival then?
That was not the last sentence.
No, but that's what I care about. Because you're like, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. At that point, it's like, then what?
Exactly.
Tell me the answer.
My next step is to the company. We did sign an agreement that they will not contest an unemployment filing. So I am moving forward with that. I had to wait for my.
How long were you at that job?
10 months.
Are you going to qualify for unemployment?
If you're over 6 months, you qualify.
6 months, okay.
At least in California. So.
Okay. So your job is to be on unemployment.
And then do my pet sitting / house sitting.
We know you can probably do more, but
Which I'm hoping to.
Listen, and I'm not going to get you in a dangerous position. Okay. I understand what you and your therapist have been talking about, most likely based on your things. Like, I do kind of get it. Sounds like you just can't have a direct and authoritative person.
Exactly.
But there are other levels of boss.
Which I do.
I
do.
Hold on, but you're just counting yourself out from the workforce, other than just independence.
I agree.
In the workforce, small business is 50% of the GDP in this country. You know, that's just the majority of jobs.
Which I'm doing.
Okay, you brought in $400, you said. When we said small, I didn't mean like micro level of business. Like, we're talking a small business like this is a small business.
Well, this is a very successful small business.
Yes, at a certain point, once it's like not surviving and $400 is not surviving.
But I'm trying.
That doesn't mean anything.
It does, because if I wasn't trying, I wouldn't.
Money's not participation trophies. You get, girl, you don't.
Which I purchased in
the
full.
State of California, who, trust me, they are pretty on that side of making sure everyone feels yay. They don't define you as having a roof over your head. So
but I don't go cold.
You don't pay your bills. You were forced to sell a house.
Have I missed recently?
You were forced to sell a house.
I was.
Your dream house that you wanted to live in. So don't tell me that you're doing great.
2 years ago.
I'm trying is not anything. You get rewarded with dollar bills based on something you provide. You do not survive off of participation trophies.
But
become a little bickering match instead of going into your. I'm really meant to go into your numbers.
You did. But I got that severance package. So
$2,000 though. That's not. That doesn't go very far.
Yeah, it was 1 month's pay,
especially in California.
Yeah. So that gave me a little bit of cushion, which is good.
You were only there for 10 months, so 1 month for 10 months. That's actually not very. That's pretty okay.
Pretty okay, because they didn't want me to sue them.
Good luck with that. Okay.
The lawyer didn't say good luck with that, so thank you. You have a law degree. You don't.
I don't. Okay. Black Friday starting today. All the way through December 6th. You get our entire educational class bundle for 33% off. You also get 20% off everything else, including merchandise. I've even added 4 new sections into our budgeting class, which is cementing it as the best budgeting program online. There's a reason why we have the lowest refund rate in the entire industry. Literally over 10,000 people have taken our educational services and they have changed their lives. And as an added bonus for this Black Friday couple weeks sale, the first 250 people to purchase the bundle will get access to a private live Q&A where I go over my entire financial strategies. Change your life today, 33% off, 20% off, depends on what you get. Check it out, links in the description below. By the way, as someone with many lawyers, they're all very happy for lawsuits. You gotta take the judgment of what makes sense. You can sue anyone for anyone in this country. That doesn't mean you have standing. Things can be thrown out in a heartbeat. And again, you don't even know your own legal qualifications for what you're saying you're talking about and what you're saying you have, and neither do I.
Right. So we're in the same position right here.
Yes, but you're overly confident. That 1, they were intimidated by you, and 2, you could have sued them into oblivion.
I didn't say that.
Come on.
You exaggerator.
Yes, but you're making it sound like they're terrified of you.
So why else would they give me a month's severance and unemployment?
Maybe they're a decent business.
My boss was not a decent
If I was
human
forced
being.
to let someone go, I would want to give them a big chunk of money so they had a chance of survival. I would. Not everyone out there is a horrible piece of shit.
Correct, and I agree with that.
That doesn't mean I'm intimidated. Jake, if I fire you tomorrow, I promise I'm not giving you money because I'm terrified of you. Lindsay said I should be. Yeah. I don't know. He thinks 6.5 is huge, so it doesn't really scare me. Sorry, that's like membership post-show conversations. We'll save that for later. Either way.
Number me, baby.
$23,302. So this is a really high balance. When did we get this?
January 2022.
Okay, so we've had it for 2 years. Well, basically almost 3. And that's still an incredibly high balance. What is this, 72 months? 80 whatever months? Well, which one?
Probably 72.
Okay. The $502 minimum monthly payment, more than your Rover income. Great. That's going to get us to our next.
I had a projected of 600 this month, and I'm not booked up yet.
Oh, guys.
And I get like
we have $100 left to make everything work
every day.
But how are you gonna? Because this is what gets scary, right? Is just like because you didn't allow yourself to have a permanent roof is preventing you from getting an.
I do have a permanent roof.
Shut the. You know what I'm talking about.
I know that you think you know what you're talking about.
If you would have let me make my point, you would have understood the importance. Because you don't have the permanent roof.
It is permanent.
Because of that, you're having a hard time getting an in-person job because that's what they consider to be a permanent roof. You get it? Cool.
A permanent location and a permanent roof? Different. For fuck's sake. Permanent roof means I don't get rained on.
If a bird flies into that the roof's gone.
I don't know. Have you lived in a trailer? I think I have a little more experience on what
I had very close family members who lived in a trailer that I was over there often, okay?
Okay, so you know my trailer and that my roof.
Oh my gosh, you are so... Shut the... Listen, I'm just trying to...
Hey, don't get mad at me for standing up to myself. Standing up for myself.
To yourself? Okay.
To you. Standing up for myself. To you. Yes, I slipped up one word.
Listen, if you had any like justifiable rationale behind it, I would be excited.
Behind having a trailer? You haven't asked me yet.
About not that. About you interjecting every second right now. And usually I'm the one that gets in trouble for interjecting. So listen, I'm just saying because you didn't focus on getting what society considers
society.
Will I ever be able to get this point out?
Not if you keep saying things that I don't agree with.
No, I don't care if you agree with it. I'm saying what society says.
Society.
No. But the point I'm trying to make isn't based on your opinion or my opinion.
Okay.
So let me make it for fuck's sake.
For fuck's sake.
Because you didn't take care of that beforehand when you had a stable source of income. It is preventing you from getting a stable source of income because you have less places you can get a job at. Now, this is in a similar vein. Because you have such a high car payment, high loan balance, and a high term, the moment something bad happens to this, just like your past job, let's say it gets totaled, or let's say your income goes dry and you lose it because it gets repoed, then that is now preventing you from getting to your rover job as well. You're setting yourself up for these failures if something goes wrong. You are not allowing yourself to have any security. You are setting yourself up for a disastrous life because you refuse to, one, you don't need a $23,000 car is what it is now. It was probably $30,000 when you got it. You didn't need that.
More than that.
Exactly. You don't need a $500. What?
I special ordered it.
How do you special order a Subaru?
Because it was before it came out. So I bought it in, so it's the 2022, and I bought it in December of 2021. Sort of. I ordered it in December of 2021 because they didn't come into dealership until later. That's what I meant.
Because that's what you needed.
Yeah,
Well, let me guess. This was a mistake. I've heard that a few times this episode.
No.
Will you ever stop making them?
At the time, it was in what I considered, I don't know if investment
you consider
is
a lot of things.
I do, as does everybody.
No. That's you consider a lot of things incorrectly. Like you consider your trailer a permanent residence.
I don't think that's incorrect.
Well, it's not. No. This is a moving trailer. This isn't even one of those like mobile homes that is in a lot.
Right. I wouldn't want that.
Exactly. You're in very much something not considered permanent in any way. You're moving it always.
I am moving it always.
We're not going back to that. Continue your point.
Okay. If I remember my point, what was I saying?
Do you think you're employable?
Oh yeah.
Why?
Because I have a lot of skills.
Which are?
So I have many years in customer service. I have the medical knowledge of an RBT and my license.
Do you think I'm just being genuine here. Genuine. I don't want to insult.
I mean, that's your job.
You're excited. That's not my job. That's, I have a little bit of energy to me, so that comes with my show.
Not going to disagree.
No, of course not. I mean, you watched the show, so.
For the past week.
Of course. Really? Only a week?
Yeah, I stumbled upon you last Monday. I saw one episode, and I'm like, some gigs apply.
Time to take your trailer to Texas. Okay, so.
I thought about it. It would have been more expensive.
So,
Oh, that's what I was saying. My car.
Your existence and how you present yourself and how you talk. Listen, actually, let me associate this to me for an example. I actually did have to do some customer service there for a bit when I started my job. It was mixture of customer service and sales before I went into sales, my first post-college job.
Sales is scummy.
I would not, sales? Sales is scummy? What if you sell like something good? We weren't selling something good, but you can sell good things.
And still try to get
the most money
possible.
I need you to, I take the bait every time with you. I take the bait every time. Every time you say something, I will just, okay. I wouldn't be good at customer service because I'm. Are you sure you'd be good at customer service? You're all over the place. Yeah. You're loud. You're a bit abrasive.
Here in my personal life, that doesn't mean that that's my.
Oh, this is all I know about you.
I know.
So that's just what I'm asking.
An interview.
Huh?
I said because this isn't a job interview.
It is an interview.
Right, but it's not for employment. So why would I present my employment personality when I'm not here for that?
No. This isn't about how you do in an interview. It's about how you do on a daily in a job. Just trying to figure out if you would do well in a job.
I mean, I've had customer service positions.
You've been laid off.
Once.
Because they were intimidated.
Because there was a possibility that they were intimidated. Why else would you...
Oh, it's a possibility now.
Why else would you start lying about somebody?
Okay, we're not going back to it. I'm sorry.
After
I fall for it every time. I'm so easy. Guys, I'm too easy. Okay.
You asked me about my car, right?
I asked you about your employment skills.
Right, but previously, the sentence that you wouldn't let me
I'm
finish.
going to leave the interview on my job.
Okay.
So how about you follow the current track? Your employability skills. Do you think you're employable? You say yes. I say what skills? You say you're good at this. Because without the employability, this conversation is pointless. So I want to see why you think you're employable in different things.
I've been trying to tell you.
Well, you tried to go to another part of the conversation, so that's incorrect. But go ahead, continue.
So like I said, I've got lots of customer service skills. I have administrative skills. I have the medical knowledge and the medical license.
I like that one.
Yeah, thank you. It did cost a lot of money. And I worked 3 jobs during college. It was hard. Anyways.
We have a lot of student loans here.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I've got... I mean, we can look at my resume later.
Let's look at your resume. Can I have it? If someone wants to Slack it to me, that'd be chill.
I have it on my phone, too, if you need it.
Oh, that works.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see it flash me with its light. You're trying to assault me with... You just want me to start season so that this conversation finishes.
Google Drive. That's what I'm looking for.
Guys, she's qualified in technology. She can pull up Google Drive.
You're such an...
I am. I'm sorry.
And I just don't want that on screen, but you can...
Of course. Finally, a resume that doesn't look like a piece of shit. We have a lot of resumes on this show.
I appreciate that.
Location, California.
Correct. I don't leave California because I'm on Medi-Cal.
You're here.
I meant living-wise.
This is so vague. Like, what if I'm trying to hire you in LA and I see California? I'm like,
That's why I only apply for remote positions.
Which is becoming so much more scarce. And because of the scarcity and everyone wanting them, they are the most competitive jobs in the United States.
Yeah. I've had
type of jobs, at least.
A New York-based and a Texas-based.
I hope so.
And then right now I'm doing my tattoo artist for her admin stuff.
Ooh. Okay. I will say your passions and interests definitely... You can start vibing politicalness from it because
what does that mean?
You can start vibing. Listen, I'm not against someone who's for animal rights. Obviously, I am too, or human rights, or environmentalism, mental health, authenticity and kindness, and that kind of stuff. But once you start putting that as just as important as the key skills on here, I start seeing that, and I can see other people seeing that as. Oh, she's going to come in here and she's just going to cancel the company.
What do you mean by cancel the company?
You know exactly what I mean. There's certain people...
I wouldn't have asked if I did.
Huh?
I wouldn't have asked for a clarification if I knew exactly what you meant.
That the moment... This isn't something like that... There's probably a lot of places where it's just like... How do I want to phrase this? let me think about this. Where it's just like, why stir up? And like, I'm not translating it like this. I'm just saying some people could.
Okay.
Some people could. That you could be in there. And the fact that you're layering just as equal as your key skills, your environmentalism and all this stuff, it could suggest to a potential employer that you're going to be someone who goes in there and then you're going to be making issues about a bunch of different stuff just constantly. You're going to be someone who just gets offended super easy. Okay. Like every conversation is going to be an HR thing.
Got it.
And it says, it's not a bad thing that you would feel passionate about things. It's not, but it's just you indicating it just as important as your customer relation skills, your veterinary medicine skills, leadership skills. It's just as equal on your resume. It's the same size. Actually, no, passions and interests is actually bigger on your resume. So
good point.
I
gotta say.
Well, yeah, I don't have to show being an idiot. Actually, I'm an idiot in a lot of things, but this is the stuff that I'm relatively good at this. Okay. And then work experience, it's all over the place. So what we're having here, what kind of remote jobs are you applying for?
Administrative, healthcare, veterinary care, pet insurance.
Okay, so a lot of it's pet, and then we have administrative. Mm-hmm. And then in here, I have the mixture of both. What I would instead have is a resume focus on administrative and a resume focus on animal. Okay. And I get that you have the experience on both fields, but having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, your last 10 experiences.
Those are all of my jobs.
Exactly. That's a bit much.
Okay.
I would have the most critical focused on what you're applying for. And if you have to, move a number a little, like to make things work, it's not the end of the world. Because you're still not lying about your real experience, Right. So having resumes focused on what you're going for. If you're applying for an administrative job, and 75% of this is I was working as a vet tech, I'm like, I'm probably going to hire the person that the resume is focused on administrative tasks.
Yeah.
Think about your budget, rent, groceries, maybe a streaming subscription here and there. But here's the thing, are you actually budgeting for the future? Today's sponsor, Moomoo, makes it super simple to start investing as a regular part of your budget. So no more putting it off until next month. With Moomoo, you can easily set up reoccurring deposits, just like you would for any other monthly expense. By putting a consistent amount of money into your investment account, you're building a steady foundation for the future. It's not about timing the market. It's about compounding habits and investments in the long term. Plus, Moomoo is designed to keep costs low. They offer $0 commission trading on US stocks, ETFs, and options, so your money goes towards your investments, not unnecessary fees. It's a solid way to keep more of what you invest and avoid commission death. And here's the best part. New users who join now can take advantage of up to 8.1% APY on uninvested cash with Moomoo's Cash Sweep program for the first 3 months, plus up to 15 free stocks with a qualified deposit. If I was starting my investing journey or just looking to change platforms, I'd take advantage of this welcome gift in a heartbeat. So if you're ready to make investing part of your monthly budgeting routine, scan the QR code or head to the link in the description. A little consistency now can go a long way towards securing your financial future. Don't miss out on Moomoo's sign-up bonuses either. Head to the link below or scan the QR code on screen to get started today. So this is two one-size-fits-all resume.
Hi. I didn't want to interrupt you again. As far as my management and shift lead positions, those were more towards the beginning of my work life.
But it's at the top. Administrative assistance is at the top. Usually that's the most recent.
Supervisory and management is what I meant. Because I was
well then you typed it wrong.
No, down here.
Oh, so you put your most recent at the bottom?
No, if you would have let me finish my sentence.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Oh, sorry about the table.
You're welcome so much.
So my managerial and supervisory experience was more towards the beginning of my work history, which is why that's down at the bottom.
Okay.
But if I take off those first 2 jobs, where do I put my supervisory
That's
experience?
why I said maybe we tweak a number.
Okay.
I'm not advocating for lying necessarily. I don't want to be on the record for that, but it's just tweak.
Yeah.
A little tweak, okay?
Yeah.
When I was close to 2 years in product management, I started looking for another job. I said I was 2 years. I was close.
Yeah.
So tweak, know. All that matters in the end is can you actually bring the skills and perform in the company? Yeah. Okay. So those are the things I would focus on. I wouldn't try to make it an advocacy resume.
Okay.
Because someone doesn't want
someone who advocates for themselves?
Not advocate for themselves. Someone doesn't want someone coming in and trying to turn the organization upside down.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's like, that's what it is. It's just terms of risk for hire. Again, it's expensive to hire someone.
Yeah.
And then if we do hire you and you don't work out, it's expensive to replace you.
Yeah. What did you think about the little quote at the top?
It was fine.
Okay. Because I think that's a big part of...
Well, reading that quote specifically, I don't have it here, but reading that with the activism part, I was like, it was something about how change is critical, and I'm also okay, if we're really focused, I don't want you to come in this company and just, because we, like Brent, the historic figure on this channel, he's someone that comes into job interviews and he's always like, here's what I'm going to change about your company, when I'm going to do all this, and it's just like,
right.
No one hires those people. You should come in. You should learn the structure. You should learn. And then once you're able to speak adequately about everything, you can push for reasonable, good change. Change is not a bad thing.
Right.
But no one wants someone coming in and just they're like, I know everything about this company. I'm ready to change everything. That's not what anyone wants.
No.
So it annoys everyone.
Right. And I think the quote says success is not the goal, formative change is, or something like that. And that's where true success is. Oh, it's survival is not the goal. That's what it says.
Okay, that's better.
Survival is not the goal.
People want to see success when they're hiring someone.
Formative change is success. So
what's the interest rate on this car? Because it's blurred.
It's blurred.
It's blurry.
Oh,
it's hard for me to see.
5.19.
Not the worst.
Yeah.
Not the best. It's in that gray area of interest rates on a depreciating asset. Okay.
I needed a car that would last me for a very long time.
How many miles are on it? How's the condition?
It is 360 something, or not 300, 36 something thousand miles right now. And it actually just got a brand new engine.
How much was that?
1,000.
Oh.
Yes. Not horrible because warranty.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes.
Okay, what am I looking at here? Because you sent a lot of screenshots because you didn't really know how to pull statements.
That's actually, okay. Yes. This is my lifetime camping membership. So that's where I get my water, electricity, place to park.
So you do have a place you go to the most.
Yeah, if you listened to me earlier.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, no excuse on your end, huh?
What? Sure. I mean, you said a couple of things incorrectly but that's fine. So okay. I just want to... the record was hell on that one.
So this is the loan. Once this loan is paid off, then I only have to pay the yearly.
It's a loan to the lot?
No.
To the
it's
plot?
A loan to the membership.
You have a loan on the membership?
If you wait and listen.
I'm reacting, girl. People can react.
Okay.
I wasn't even asking a question.
You're making assumptions, not just reacting.
I assumed that it was a loan after you said it was a loan.
To the lot, to the whatever, but it's not. It's a lifetime membership, like I said. So once that membership is paid off, I only have to pay the...
Oh, good. Say it.
I only have to pay the annual dues, which is like $400 a year.
This is a camping timeshare.
Yes.
This is a camping timeshare.
And you know what it does? It gives me free electricity, free water, a place to live.
How easy is it to get out of it when you want to? Do you have to sell your membership?
You do, yes.
Me.
But I'm not me. But I'm not.
If it was a membership you could cancel, I would be okay with this. I would be okay with this.
Can you listen?
No, 1 second. I'm just saying my opinion.
Okay.
You know, the guy who runs the show? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do that sometimes.
And you're also the one asking me questions and I'm trying to answer?
Gosh, I think you're so combative. Oh, it's interesting putting two combative people together.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I just don't like people talking over me.
We wouldn't. It's okay if you talk. If someone talks over you, you're louder than them anyway half the time. So everyone will hear you regardless. Mm-hmm. But we wouldn't last. Mm-hmm. One, I'm monogamous, so we wouldn't last.
I wasn't looking for that, so I don't know why you had to bring that up. But
I don't remember.
We were talking about the membership.
Oh yeah, the timeshare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the really stupid decision of getting this. Okay. Yeah.
What makes this having?
Because you have to sell it to get it out. It's less about the secure place.
But why do I want to get it out? Because I don't want a permanent residence.
You are 29. You do not know what the rest of your life looks like.
I know nobody does.
Yes, but you've bound yourself to something that you would have to sell. A product.
How is it a product?
Just like a timeshare, these ongoing dues forever.
Until you're 65.
That you have to. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, that's close. This is that you have
$400 a year for free electricity, free rent, and a place to park.
In your situation, but it is still
issue.
It's less about that.
It's a bad decision?
Hold on, $400 is actually a lot of money to you. So don't try to act like an entitled little brat. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You can't barely pay a $500 bill. I don't know how you're going to next month, so I don't want to hear about that. But also, your total loan payoff is $8,135. So it's not just about that ongoing bill forever. Mm-hmm. So f off. It's obviously not the case. Interest is accruing like crazy. Oh, good. There's also fees. So we're getting fees and we're getting interest. What's the interest on this then? How do you not know? You signed up for.
I signed up for it over a year
ago. So you
ago.
thought this is good, but you don't even know if it's good.
I know that I needed a place to live. I know that I need electricity, and I know that I need water. So I have made work.
It's less about that. I'm talking about the product itself. Dude.
Right? Which doesn't make a difference if I don't have a place to live.
Yeah, we can figure out so many solutions. You're acting like this is the only one that exists in the world.
I couldn't rent.
You're so inflexible.
I actually am hypermobile. But so I couldn't rent when I almost lost my house. Couldn't rent a room because I have pets. Couldn't
how many pets do you have?
I have 4 and I'm fostering a puppy.
In a trailer?
Currently, we have all lived in the trailer, yes. I'm currently crashing on my mom's couch because my house was in the shop for a week.
Your trailer.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I got it back and I'm just working on getting my stuff back, moved into it.
Is your car in good condition?
Like mechanically or like?
Yeah. And the car and just the looks and everything as well.
It's got some dents and scratches. I mean,
you might have an actual equity position in the car in terms of positive equity. In good condition, it's valued at about $28,000. So maybe this is like $25,000, or closer to your value at $26K. Who knows? So you actually might. What if we can? In your situation, selling it's so weird because like you kind of need it. You need something more reliable. You can't afford this minimum payment. You don't know the interest on here.
I thought it would show on the payoff thing, but it didn't.
Why would it show on the payoff? No, if you sent us a statement like we requested, it would have.
Well, I don't get sent statements.
You get statements for anything that's a bill, anything that's.
I don't get it in my email, and unless it goes to a.
You go to the website and you download statements in a statement section.
This is the website,
or you call them, or you email them, and they will send you a statement. Everything that has a bill has a statement. Good. I'm gonna calculate the interest. How about that? So I can do that for you as such a good friend.
Thanks so much, Caleb.
It's 22% interest.
That sounds bad.
It's very bad. It's beyond bad.
I needed a place to live.
Listen, you don't get it. I mean, yes, you need you are acting like it is the only solution. I wasn't there. We could have brainstormed. We're going to brainstorm of where you're at now. But you act like I can't have a boss. It's the only place I could live. You're inflexible. A 23% interest for a cup of water and electricity is not a deal. An ongoing membership that you have to sell to get out of until you're 65 is not considered a good deal. It's a membership for not even a room. You know, it's like different. Like at least timeshare, you have a room.
So, but I have a room. I bring my whole house there.
Yes, you bring it. You don't usually have to do that for timeshares.
So it's
you think when people go to a timeshare, they bring a room from their house and take it there?
It is only I know you're going to say, only, you can't afford. It's only $250 a month to have all the electricity I need.
Listen.
All the water I need. You're not really being realistic right now.
No.
Because
it's less about that.
Oh, it is? What is it more about?
You're acting like it's the only option.
It was.
That's not. You're saying you can't have a boss. I don't believe you. You're not a good narrator. You're not a reliable narrator for what was like in that situation. You're really not.
Because I can't disclose details.
Well, then how the am I supposed to have what you consider an informed opinion if I don't have all the information? Don't be stupid.
What do you mean?
No shit. then?
The job thing wasn't what I was saying in uninformed decision about. It was or uninformed opinion. It was the trailer and the camping membership.
Almost nothing with a 23% interest rate is considered a good deal. Listen, if this was maybe at a 5%, we could have a conversation about that. Okay. If it was a membership that you didn't have to sell, we could have a conversation about that. Mm-hmm. You have to sell the membership before 65. Mm-hmm. And it's a 23% interest. It's basically a credit card.
Uh-huh.
Okay. If you can't figure that out.
My rent is $250 a month. Where normal people's rent is like $1,500.
First of all, it's not your rent because you're not getting an actual place. You're just getting access to utilities.
Oh my God.
Those are utilities. You're paying
a place to live, not rent.
It's a place for you to put your trailer.
Uh-huh. And have water and electricity.
Yeah, this is a $250 a month utility payment.
And a place to live that's secure. I can't just. I'm gonna move on. Like I can, and I'm gonna have to live in an alley for a while.
No, listen.
But that doesn't mean it's safe. So to be able to be at a campground 3 weeks at a time.
I get it. I heard it. I know it. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
But you don't agree.
It's not that I don't agree that it is. Listen, what I am saying is you are acting like it is the only choice, and because of that, it is considered a good deal. I wasn't there, but usually there has not been one time on the show, not one time in recording 4 to 5 episodes a week for 2.5 years, that when someone comes and they act like this was the only thing, I couldn't find an alternative. If we were there when that happened, 4 years ago, right? 4 years ago?
January 2023. So it took me
last year. Almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, so it took me a long year of planning the trailer that I could tow with my car, and
we could brainstorm. We could look at resources.
Which I did.
And you did, based on you. I've had other people do things, and they think again something is the only way. Sometimes when you talk outside of your own little bubble, you might get some more information. But it doesn't matter. It's where we are.
You think that
good. I don't think
you make a lot of assumptions.
Just based on experience.
Okay, that doesn't mean they're right.
No, it doesn't. But at least I would have tried,
and
we could have tried to figure it out. It's
because that's what that says.
It's not based on you trying. I said maybe I could have come up with something. Maybe my team could have come up with something.
But that's the past.
That's what I just tried to say. But you wouldn't let me move on. 2 weeks of marriage, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
That wasn't very nice.
$480 minimum monthly payment on that. So now we're at $1,000. Are you okay? Oh, I'm sorry.
That was not very nice.
No, it wasn't. I was just trying to make a jab. I'm sorry. Like I did not mean for that to be insulting. Oh, okay. Take a moment. I'm sorry. Well, let's take a moment. Yeah. Oh no, it's okay. I was trying to play to the cheekiness for the show. Are you okay?
I need some air.
Take a moment. You want to go outside? It's okay. Take your time. Take your time. It is no worries at all.
I'm probably extra red now.
It's okay. You sure you're good?
My threshold has been lowered a little bit.
I don't know what that means. I'm sorry.
Post panic attacks, it's a little harder to not have physical reactions like this.
I have a panic disorder. I get it. I understand it. Well, I mean, this is gosh, that's why we go through the whole onboarding situation and specifically ask consent if we're allowed to make rude jokes.
No,
and stuff
totally.
like that.
And I am not.
But I would never want you to actually feel hurt. We would never want that.
Thank you.
Ever. I love cheeky little comments, and that's all that was intended to be.
I know.
Not a harm against you, okay?
I know. I appreciate that clarification.
I very much want us to go through this, and I very much want to be able to create a plan. I want to connect you with our resources. I want to. We'll probably be able to get you connected with a financial advisor. Like, there's a lot of things I want to do. Okay. Mm-hmm. I mean,
some lady owes me $10,000. So, like, court ruling case. So, some legal help would be cool too.
Why did she owe you $10,000?
Oh gosh. So it's my high school boyfriend's mom, and she needed life-saving surgery. And then I lent her the money for it, and then it turned out it was a liposuction. So I took her to court because she never paid me back, like our contract said.
There was a contract.
Mm-hmm. On the back of a receipt.
I'm glad you did a contract, though. And the judge recognized it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So
well, there
I got
you go.
a ruling.
When was the ruling?
10 years ago.
Okay.
The past life has been rough. And it's not unrough now, but I'm a little more emotionally and mentally prepared to handle it.
10 years. Okay. Okay. Are you sure you want to continue with the conversation? I don't want you to get, because I know these conversations are hard, and I know, my personality when I get very invested and everything is definitely over the top. But that's why we try to prepare everyone. But
I know that was an unexpected response on my end.
No, and it's totally okay. I just want to make sure. Do you want to finish this? Like I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, I do, and I'm okay with crying. I know that it'll a little bit of the of your. Whatever you got going on here.
I don't think so. No, I just don't want to. I just don't want you to be in a position where you no longer feel comfortable to be on the show.
No, I'm comfortable. I am a pretty open book. I do cry.
It's okay. We have tears on the show.
Yeah. Actually, in vet med, there's a medical term, epiphora, and it means excess tearing. That's like when white dogs get that gross stuff. And all my coworkers always tease me that I have epiphora.
All right, so let's go on.
Let's get it.
I don't know what to call that last thing. I'm gonna call that.
It's Thousand Trails, so I just call it TT.
I call it utilities timeshare.
Okay.
Okie
dokie.
What is this? Again, this is another thing where we didn't get statements. It looks kind of maybe like an Affirm.
It is Affirm.
Oh.
So it's Affirm. They are all Amazon because I have an Amazon addiction. I know.
What's your total? So what's your? Are these paying fours? What is it? How long do you have these Affirms financed? Because there's so many options now. Do you know?
No.
Well, I mean, it looks like you've barely made any progress on them.
I mean, I'm.
What are you Amazon? They are all on. Can you show me your Amazon?
I sure can.
Okay, $727.60.
One thing I do have to say on my Amazon is I try to refund issuance failed. Sorry. I try to find not only do I do a lot of research before I purchase an item as far as which is the best on Amazon. Okay. I know that doesn't make a whole lot of difference, but I try really hard not to make like frivolous purchases like, perfume or makeup. I don't wear makeup. I don't have special hair care.
Determine that?
And so I try to just buy stuff that makes my life easier considering my physical disability and like just like stuff like this and stuff like my fidget ring, like those are good for my mental health and my nervous system. So, but let me make sure there's nothing inappropriate.
Well, it won't be on screen anyway. What are you getting? Amazon or something?
No, Balesa.
Lindsay laughed. She knew what that meant.
Yeah.
That was a little, I think, above me.
I got you, girl.
We got the Chewy things. We got a little drive. We don't need a wireless charger. Like that's not 100%.
I know. It was on we can 60% off.
60% off, but we're financing it. And the minimum monthly payments. I didn't finance
that one.
The minimum monthly payments, either way, if you didn't finance it, you could use that money to pay towards the stuff you already have.
Right.
We're at $127 a month for this Affirm, $727 balance.
Yeah.
What are the interests? Do you know? Because sometimes it's not interest, sometimes it is, depending on the plans you get. And I wouldn't be surprised if they were interest.
Can you find that on the app?
Probably.
Okay. I mean, you have
okay, well, you ever feel like money just disappears? Even when you're sticking to a budget? It's frustrating, especially when you're only buying the essentials. But what if you could actually get some of that cash back? That's where today's sponsor, Rakuten, comes in, helping you earn when spending on things you already need. So here's how it works. Rakuten has partnered with thousands of stores, from big names like Target and Walmart to specialty shops, to offer cashback, coupons, and promo codes when you shop through their site or free browser extension. Just head to Rakuten, click on the store you need, and shop like normal. Rakuten tracks your purchase and sends cash back straight to your account. That's it. No catch, no complicated steps, just cash back. And with big shopping events like Black Friday and Cyber Monday coming up, it's the perfect time to maximize those savings. If buying holiday gifts or household essentials are already in your budget, Rakuten lets you stick to it while getting a bit of that money back. So you're not just spending, you're also earning a little back, putting a little extra cash towards your financial goals. Plus, when you sign up using the link in the description below, Rakuten's throwing a $40 bonus after your first qualifying purchase. So when you're gonna spend anyways, check out Rakuten and see just how much you can save. Click that link below, claim your $40 bonus, and try out Rakuten today. Let's keep looking. Super absorbent. Oh, what?
Well, because I'm fostering that puppy.
Oh, I was
so they're puppy pads.
Right. I was thinking lady pads. Okay. No. Did we really need a new mouse mat filled with dogs, with dogs on them? I don't think so.
What are you talking about?
Or maybe, what are there's some mat.
Oh, that's washable potty pads.
Okay. You didn't need a ring.
It's the fidget ring for my...
Fidget with that. Fidget with something else. You have things fidget with the things keeping your overall together, It's like...
You got a good point.
What do we got? What is this? A recipe?
No, those are the MAC stickers. To let me know, it was like $2.
But that's the thing. Am I gonna freak out? Am I gonna freak about only one $2 purchase? No, that is never the thing. When I mention the Spotify, it's never about the Spotify itself. Right. It is the behavior. It is the endless stacking of them that can make real progress.
Right. So
camping lantern actually makes sense. Generator makes sense. Solar lights. Okay. Well, now we're having multiple kind of lights.
Well,
security camera.
So it's a fake security camera. So it just looks like a security camera. So way cheaper. It's because I'm going to have to live in the alley in downtown Sacramento, which is full of...
Why? Because you have this thing that you can't get out of.
Yes, I know. And I could drive somewhere 5 hours away and get a reservation. But sometimes if you don't reserve soon enough, there's no spot.
You have to reserve. So you're in a monthly fee that you cannot get out of at a 23% interest rate with a big loan on it, and you can't even get it unless you reserve it far in advance?
Not always.
It is stacking up as a worse deal every time, is it not? Come on, it's stacking.
Have facts. Of the fact that those
destroyed her with facts and logic.
that those are all piling against it, but like I said, it made the most sense at the time.
I get it.
Okay.
So I know you couldn't sleep there, but what about this? I'm not saying this is the perfect option. It just it pops in the head. A gym membership where we can shower, where we can charge our phone, where we can connect to Wi-Fi. Mm-hmm. Is that a place you can park? Forever? No. But that gets us some of that. It doesn't get us water for the trailer, I know. But I'm just thinking...
Gas stations have that. Water for the trailers. It's next to the air pump.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't either until like 3 months ago.
So I feel like, is that as good? No, but I feel like if we need to really go scrappy, we can.
Yes, I would have to put a lot of my things in storage. Because which is fine, I do pay for a storage
You're crashing with someone, right? And you can't.
My mom in a house that is being sold this week.
Okay. Well, where's she going to?
She actually doesn't live there right now.
Oh, you couldn't store it in a family member's place. Is what you're saying? Any of your stuff?
Right.
No, really?
Correct. I have my mom and my brother.
I've never used a firm because I'm
financially responsible.
Well, no. The thing is I think financing things is okay, but you finance it responsibly.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, that's what I was saying.
Oh, we're at 35% interest rate on all these.
That's not good.
We can't be doing this anymore. You're paying 35% on your Amazon purchases.
Yeah.
We don't do that. Come on, you're making your situation worse.
You
are making it legitimately. You're making it harder for you. There's no point.
No. More screenshots because you don't know how to do a statement.
Yes.
So there were before I knew how to get to the full Credit Karma report, I sent the screenshots of the Credit Karma report. Okay.
Whoa.
I've got lots of collections, bro.
Oh.
When I say those...
You're never going to qualify for a home again.
Exactly. Why I said I can't rent and I can't buy.
You can find landlords that'll overlook some things. Big corporations, no. Right. Actually, I don't know the statistics on the majority of small time versus big time, but either way. But qualifying for a mortgage, absolutely. This would be
I don't ever want to own a home again. That was not great.
Collections 8,593, and it was on a credit limit of 7,500. So why we just didn't pay this? Why? It's been on here for 4 years. So 4 years ago, well, we know what happened 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. Is that when we stopped paying?
That was when we made the purchases.
That's when it opened. Sorry, 4 years ago.
Very frivolously.
It's only been in collections for a year.
Oh, so that
was going to take forever to fall off.
Is that Fortiva or Vivint or something?
Apple.
Oh, that's my Apple card. Yeah. So I racked that up and then couldn't make the payments, so I didn't. Okay. I was in a rough spot.
Did you call them and ask if they would lower the interest rate?
No. I didn't open my mail for a year, and I went up by because brains are... Come on. I know. I'm, like I said, I'm in full-time therapy. I'm working on stuff. Okay.
Okay. Maybe I need to be educated on this part. Mm-hmm. What prevents us from opening the mailbox? Anxiety, sure, I bet, of what's in there, but we can. You know the anxiety gets worse if we don't confront what's in it.
I know it does. Kind of like my big pile of shit I have to take care of that I haven't touched in a very long time.
I don't know what that is.
It's literally a box full of just paperwork that I need to look at and do things, and it's so daunting and scary that I just.
But this was a mobile app. This wasn't opening mail, so
right. So that was the Apple Card was just me not doing well, and not calling them was a matter of not doing well. I should have. Well,
here's another collection, 740. It was Synchrony. Oh, go for sake!
That's my Costco card.
How'd you get to $22,991 on Costco? What did you possibly do? How many times did you fill up your trailer with Costco gas?
That was before I owned my trailer. That was...
It's income.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that had part of the concrete.
Oh, and the Costco card? You were putting the concrete... So it wasn't even spending money you had? No. You were putting it on high interest rate credit cards?
Did you ever have any $7,000 in cash?
When you were borrowing this, did you have any intent to ever pay it back? Or were you just opening, spending, and you knew you weren't going to touch it?
That's a great question.
Do we have an answer to my great question?
No. If I remembered.
It was only a couple years ago.
Manic episodes are weird. And now it's less of that issue, more of a impulsivity issue.
Which you can work with a therapist on.
Yeah.
For coping. I'm just like, wait, why did you come on the show?
Because I don't know where to go from here.
But I think you're very determined. Like, you're immediately, I can't do anything because of all these mental health things. Everything is, I can't do it because of this mental health thing.
It's not, I can't do anything about that. It's so hard.
But I can't do anything about that.
I know. No. Like, as far as the looking for income?
I don't know your mental health. I don't know what's real. I don't know what you've been working on. I don't know the history. I can't do anything about that.
Right.
So if nothing can be done because of the mental health, what can I do?
But what do you mean nothing can be done?
It just feels like almost every time we talk about something that's can't or this is because both.
Well, because these were all the debt.
But even the stuff we talked about today doing, it's just like mental. Okay.
Like what? Can you give me a...
I don't... It's been a long conversation.
It has.
I don't remember, but I've I don't know. We've been sitting down for an hour 21 so far.
Holy...
Yes.
My bad.
It's okay. I'm going to get you connected with a Domain Money financial advisor. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get you their free session. We'll get you that. Actually, I think, so everyone out there who uses MyLink, you get a free 30-minute session with them, like a licensed financial advisor who will sit down, look for your stuff. Highly recommend it. That's good. We're going to get you connected with them. I'll get you connected with a free certificate through Course Careers so we can help you find a job. Like maybe we can boost your customer service part of your resume with a customer service certification so you can look at customer service management. So we'll gift that to you.
Okay.
You know, we have a lot of resources we can do. We'll give you all 3 of our classes, which are bundled together for 25% off. Without you guys, you know, I got to give you a little plug, but it's always, it is actually worth it. We've had 10,000 people take our stuff and they've literally changed their lives, and you'll get it for free. So I need you to go through all this, because what I'm worried about here is mental health. It's just like, yeah, that's what you got to deal with.
Right.
And the best that I might be able to do is connect you with resources.
Right.
I don't know much what else. But okay, 22,991 on Costco. Concrete sounds like.
And I don't really know what collections.
Cube Center. Is this not storage?
They sued me.
Who?
Costco.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. They want their 22,000.
I know.
And that actually might be a number worth suing someone over, because all of them can sue you.
Yeah, I know.
But usually it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
That number might be worth it.
But I don't know how to do I did that 30-minute consultation thing or whatever with a
what?
With a legal person.
Okay.
When regarding was this? This was April.
Okay. So
and
these consequences actually could come a knocking.
Yeah. And
dude,
yeah, there's apparently I can request for
your credit's already this might be a bankruptcy situation.
Credit scores are fake.
Okay, sure.
Just like BMI.
I don't care.
Just like BMI, credit scores.
Sure, whatever. I don't care.
I don't think my credit score is horrible, but I know that my collection 638 something.
I almost don't believe that, but okay.
I know. Once everything went to collections, it came
to save yourself from a lot of the stuff. Bankruptcy might be an option, because that one is an actual legal thing that could.
Yeah.
It really could.
My only concern with bankruptcy is losing my car.
No, you should. I think you can. You'll be. Meet with a bankruptcy attorney. You can figure it out, but many times you can go through and you'll be okay.
Yes, this is my storage unit, and I split it with my mom.
The trailer, I'm curious about that. They might take a look at it, but
because my trailer's only 17 feet, so it's real small. So that was actually what I was going to say at one point is.
And 5 animals are going to live in there soon?
The puppy is this big.
Okay.
And then it's 3 cats and 1 dog.
Okay. The cats should be fine.
Yeah.
They don't know what's
going on. And we've all lived in the trailer before together.
Yes,
and my dog spends most of her time outside with me, and that's being in the trailer.
Just because they've done it though doesn't mean it's good. The dogs have when I drive downtown, there's a decent amount of homeless people here. And they have dogs. Their dogs have been doing it. Doesn't mean it's good. I mean, it's good.
My dog goes to the river every day.
That's good.
Yeah, like when we're camping, she has a much better life than when we're stuck in the city.
But I also know, know my main thing is it's food security for the dog, being able to afford pet insurance. If you can't afford pet insurance, then you probably can't afford an animal. And if we need to make sure they have good places to cool off if they're being active, oftentimes indoors. And a hot place like Sacramento's and Sacramento's kind of hot, right?
Toasty.
Exactly. So we need to make sure they have good conditioned AC. And then if it does get cold in the winter or night, we need to make sure they have heat.
Have that as well.
Okay, yes, and I know you have that part.
Yes.
But that's just like, at a certain part, if we can't afford certain things, I'm like, okay, we probably can't afford pet insurance, which means an animal will die if they get something done to them. I was able to save my animal's life because I'm very blessed, and I have pet insurance. It cost $30,000. I didn't pay anywhere close to that.
Right.
Because she had to go into 2 surgeries and multiple things to save her life. If I did not have pet insurance, and if I wasn't in such a blessed position, she would literally be dead, because it's not like the habeas corpus type with animals, right?
Right.
Like they will die.
Yes, and I am a registered vet tech. I know that I can't do surgery. However, I do have a lot of resources within the veterinary community.
And you're good with the preventative as well. You're better at that. You know what to look for. So, I mean, you might be able to get them to a situation before surgery is required.
Right.
So, like, trust me, I get it. Yeah. I get it. It's just like.
And when I moved into the trailer, a lot of people told me to get rid of them. Not happening.
Well, cats, I don't really like. They don't know anything.
Yeah.
They're just they exist. That's what they're
full of love.
No, well, sure. Love for you feeding them.
Yeah, some cats.
If they were the size of a dog, they would kill you, but that is.
What is. Yeah.
What is
storage.
This? Okay, storage. So you already pay for storage.
Yeah.
So why was our big concern needing to get storage?
No, it was putting the stuff in the storage unit I already own. Because when I move my trailer, like when I tow it, I have to put all of the things that go outside inside the trailer.
Is this finance or is this the bill?
That's a bill. Monthly bill.
Okay, so it's a monthly bill.
Yes.
Well, I'll put this aside so we put it in your budget then.
Cool.
Okay, so these are student loans.
Yes.
Okay, a lot of them are, income based, which actually makes sense for you. A lot of people are on it.
Did the income base get approved? Can you tell that by that? I have no idea because I applied.
So you might be in the application period and it might be on hold because a lot of it's being challenged in court. Also, who knows if the new Department of Education, we just had an election, who knows if the Department of Education will even allow those kind of repayment statuses. So
sick.
we'll know. It's kind of up to the department head. A lot of it, they're given a lot of authority with that. They might not do any kind of forgiveness, any kind of things like that. So
when I was paying my student loans, I was paying more than a minimum payment. Barely, but a little more.
Student loans, $12,404.
Okay. Not the worst, right? Not great.
Well, just to your point earlier, the reason I always push back on that, but is it the worst? No. Technically, there's probably only one the worst in the entire world, and whoever's going through the worst right now is that person.
Yeah.
You know? Probably a child in Yemen or something. I don't know.
I'm just glad.
But just because of that doesn't mean this is good.
Right. I'm just glad I don't have like 65 grand in student debt. You know.
I get you.
Yeah.
$12,404. Oh, the interest rates are pretty mid. They're whatever.
Got me a license I can't use anymore. Yay.
Oh, maybe remote. Who knows? Maybe you can. I don't know, man. It's hard. It would be hard to hire you for that job. It would.
Yeah.
If we have limited resources at a veterinary clinic, am I going to hire someone who can't bend over?
Exactly.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, we have a Wi-Fi pass that actually makes sense for your spending in your checking account. You have 1,300 in there. Amazon. We looked at your Amazon. I would say it was about, there's some needs in there, and I'd say it's like kind of 50-50 on do you really need this or not?
Right.
Venmo, 300 to who? To where? Venmo now 300 for what?
Oh,
you don't make.
I know.
You barely
it was my
make that much.
Birthday, and I got a tattoo.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm sorry, you don't get to have the whole birthday month. The whole.
So here's what happened.
Gift.
Here's what happened. I actually booked. I booked the tattoo appointment in an impulsive flash decision, and I booked it for a lot more tattoos. And then I finally was like, "Hey, girl, I'm so sorry. That was a mistake on my part. I still want to work with you because I put in this deposit and whatever, but I'm going to bring that down half the amount."
Should have been like, "Hey, girl, I'm going to lose my car in a couple months. Can I not get a tattoo?"
It's cute.
Sake. Is it that one?
No, it's on my leg. It's a possum and some cats.
Okay, and there's storage and there's Apple and going inside a gas station and getting something. Probably. It's $5 from Winco, $5.46. I doubt that's gas.
Oh, no. Winco, I got a pack of granola bars and some rice.
Okay. Blue Firefly.
Don't know what that is.
Looks like a vending machine or something. Something on Facebook. Why are you paying $10.60 on Facebook?
Those were Facebook ads.
What are you Facebook adding?
So I do.
Please give me a place to live.
So I do the admin stuff, and I had a wild hair, and I was like, I'm going to make my admin page. And then I paid for ads, and I don't know why.
Did you cancel it?
I did.
Good.
Yes, I did.
Okay, more truck thing. Campaway truck accessories.
Right, because my roof rack broke.
The trail place. Went to a restaurant there.
What restaurant?
La Pelicita Taqueria.
Oh, yes. I was about to faint, so I needed food. I got like a taco.
Well, now you have a granola bar, so no more of that. LinkedIn Premium makes sense for your situation. You're looking for a job. Amazon, Store Rockin', AuraBloom.com. Affirm. What?
Aura Bloom is it's a monthly surprise crystal subscription.
Okay, cancel it. Cancel it. Go roll around in some rocks. You live outside. Roll around in some rocks.
Isn't it pretty though? It's pretty. I know.
It's fine.
Thanks.
Don't. You can't. I mean, you're going to lose your car. And you lose your car and you're done. You can't move the... You can't move... Come on, man.
My car is my life.
This is not a joke anymore.
Yeah.
You cannot have a Crystal subscription.
I know.
It's literally not an option for you. It really isn't. Same with the Nintendo subscription. We can't have that.
It was
Apple
I
Bill.
bought Nintendogs for $2.
We can't do that.
I know.
You have a real dog to take care of, and you're not getting him pet insurance. So we're not getting a virtual dog, okay? Apple Bill, a Rover Pet service fee, and then
that was a background
Yelp,
check.
$51 on Yelp.
That is actually in claims right now. So they are
Good.
Yeah.
But with checking it with debit cards, that is fucking hard.
I know.
So they don't really care. It's your money.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Afterpay. We're Afterpaying as well.
That yes. That
More
is paid
Apple
off
Bill.
now.
You have so many in-Apple things. What are you getting? Subscriptions or what?
So
What are you doing?
I have iCloud and Apple Pay or Apple Care. Those should be the only two Apple charges.
Can you? It's Apple Care. Such you can spend 1 month of Apple Care and just get an indestructible case. Like
that Apple Care covers theft
risky.
as well.
I know. That's why I'm so split on the fence. You literally just subscriptions in your life is just impossible. But also getting a new phone is impossible.
Yeah.
Is it a financed phone?
I got $800 off for a trade.
Amazon. Talk about McDonald's, Amazon, and more firm.
Taco Bell and McDonald's I try to keep below like $5.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Whatever.
You bragged about having a kitchen in your little thing. Cool. You're getting like the cheapest that you can get that doesn't kill you.
I eat a lot of carbs, rice, pasta, all the dry stuff.
I don't think we get to spoil ourselves. If we're going to lose the only reason why we're still alive and being able to work, we don't get to get McDonald's, even if we're doing value menu. We really don't.
I don't know how to eat healthy on a budget either.
Well, follow our meal plan.
Oh, you have a meal plan?
We have a meal plan. This is, again, more resources.
Cool, because
You
my
tweak
doctor
it to your needs.
told me you need to eat better. Not like just
Well,
as
you're
far as
listening to your
vitamins.
therapist about not ever being able to get a job again. Maybe you're listening to your doctor as well.
Yes, I have an appointment with a nutritionist.
$116 in the Cash App account. Who are you sending Cash App to? Cash App.
I shuffle money around.
So you're sending a lot of money on a Cash App. Okay.
Yeah. But I don't spend money on the Cash App. Besides recently when I purchased, because I had to cancel my card because of that Yelp charge, I had to use my Cash App debit card to buy Amazon, which was the generator, which is necessary.
Venmo, some out. Whoa, investments. Not would have expected this.
Thank you, I think.
This is different. Well, just based on your situation, it's just...
Hey, man, if it comes out of my paycheck before the paycheck gets to me, it's not my money.
Don't do that anymore.
Why?
You have 23% interest debt. You're getting 10% a year on average if this is in the S&P 500. Doesn't make sense to be putting it towards this if you have 23% debt, which you have on that plot.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
On the utilities.
I didn't know.
Well, there you go. You learned.
Yeah.
11,000 hours in this one, 4,000 hours in that one, 11,000 hours in this one. That's
that should
great.
be the same one as the first one.
Damn it.
I know.
Something tells me you're going to get pushed to a point, though, very soon, and you're going to be withdrawing from this.
I don't know how to do that.
You'll figure it out. They always do.
Okay.
I've had them on my show.
I don't want to do that.
You won't, but you're not going to lose your car.
I'm not.
The tree that you live next to is not going to give you money. And all of a sudden, you're going to see that $11,000.
My family, the two family members that I have, back me up when I need it, which I know is a problem. I owe my brother $3,500. My mom, because my credit card or because my debit card was frozen, she had to pay for the flights to get here, so I owe her a little bit of money.
Well, how much was that? We give a reimbursement.
Yeah. So when you reimburse, I'm going to reimburse her. Yeah.
So what do you owe to them?
To my brother, $3,500.
Yeah, we got that. Yeah. The other one?
To my mom, she always tells me I don't have to pay her back besides these flights.
Besides the flights?
Yeah.
Just give me the flights then.
$600.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She has shuffled me about $5,000 this year.
No, if she doesn't want it back, you are going to accept that.
Okay.
It's a gift.
Thanks.
Anything else, apparently?
To owe to people? Mm-mm.
Okay. Let's figure out what you need to survive. Because even if we
I
got
want to organize that so bad.
Even if we put you in like not a hostel, what's it called? But then your pets, you won't give them. Because the thing is, we could get you a bed in a place, and that can act as a permanent residence, leading you to a better chance of getting a you know, what everyone else considers a permanent residence, that can lead you to a better chance of getting an in-person job. Like, we could do that, but I feel like you're not willing to do that.
In-person job, where am I going to put my dog for an in-person job? She has severe separation anxiety, and she ate through my door. She's on medication.
No, this is, I'm not, this is not hating you. This is not hating you. This is not against you. This is not, I feel like, Madam Jake and Madam Lindsay, I mean, I feel like this is nothing that can be done. It's just every time there's anything, it's like, but we can't because of this, and there's nothing that can be done. Literally, you can't work. One second. Okay. Sorry. I'm just trying to think out loud. You can't work a job because of your dog's separation anxiety. At that point, you are not going to survive in society. And there is no budget I can make. There's no budget I can make in that situation because I'm going to make it on you depending to get a job. You can't.
How have I had a job for a year?
You got a remote job, but again, it is
which is the third.
1 second, and we improved your resume, but every single year from those three remote jobs you've had, every month it is getting more competitive to get a remote job. More people are getting laid off in tech, and everyone wants a remote job. You are competing with the top of the top of the top, and I'm not saying you can't compete, but it is becoming beyond more incredibly hard. In person is what gets you an income next week. Remote job could get you an income 6 months in a year, maybe. And we did the resume tweak. So I'm sorry. Again, I'm going to connect you with all the resources, everything we have. It makes no sense for me to spend my time, the audience's time, their time, especially since we've been recording for an hour 40, which is okay. But there's no point of spending that time to build this because you're not going to do that because every single time there is a reasonable solution, it's, I can't do it because of this thing. The dog thing, come on. At that point.
That was a question. It's not I can't do it. It was what should I do?
You might have to have them with a family member for a year or something. You might have to have them work with a trainer once you have a job and you can afford it. You might have to surrender the dog if you cannot survive as a human being, because you do have to survive. If you're not able to survive, they're not able to survive. And I know that's hard. I love my dogs more than anything. Well, not more than anything. I guess I love my family more if I have to rank, but it's pretty damn close. Okay,
they are family.
Exactly, they are family. And I'm just thinking, like, mom, dad, like, love you guys too. I don't want to think.
Love you, Mom.
I don't want them to think they're less important if they're watching. But I get it, and I get the emotions you're feeling because of that. But there might just be very hard life choices we are making so that you have a chance of survival. If you're not willing to make them, I don't know how you survive. I really don't. Okay.
Yeah.
Coming to the post show, guys, I think we're going to talk about even more stuff. The producers know everything about our life, and they're going to talk about things. It's going to be interesting. And make sure to get our investing, budgeting, and debt class all together for 25% off. Your Hammer Financial Score, spending in a budget. I mean, you overspent your income easily, just even with minimum payments. So 0 out of 10. Debt, you have collections, 0 out of 10. Emergency fund, 0 out of 10. Your score's not going to be a 0 out of 10. If you thought, I mean, you said the score was unreasonable, but you must not have taken the thing.
I did take the thing.
And it said 0? You have retirement, so you should have at least I'll take a look at that afterwards.
Okay.
The algorithm there. But your retirement, is it behind for your age? Absolutely. But you are getting started, and there is something in there, and it's moving in right assets. 2 out of 10. And then real estate now 0 out of 10, because I'm sorry, that is not considered real estate.
I understand that.
That's going to be a Hammer Financial Score rounded up. Maybe it's because I have more of a heart than an algorithm. 0.5 out of 10. Guys, stick around for the post show. I already have a feeling it's going to be a good one. You pay your taxes. That face. Are you kidding me?
It wasn't on purpose.
Are you actually kidding me?
I kept resubmitting it, kept getting kicked back, so I just quit. And then I haven't done it since.
Oh! When was the last time you filed taxes?
2021.
To watch the financial audit post show, click the join button below.